760 KFMB.
Hey, San Diego, welcome back. It looks like Oklahoma's up 58-17. I am really happy about this. This is a huge upset, and this is a great deal. After the loss last week, we needed this. Sooner Nation did anyway. All's good here in America's finest city. You're listening to this is the Real Estate Zone. All the information you need in today's market. I'm your host, Mike Litton with Keller Williams Realty. Make sure you join us next week. We'll have Bob Vila, star of This Old House, on as our guest. And this is going to be an awesome show. You will not want to miss this. If you miss any of our shows, you can listen to them on podcast anytime for free by going to KFMBMike.com. That's KFMBMike.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Litton Realty. That's at Litton Realty. And also my personal cell phone number, in case you need to reach me, is 760-802-9500. It's 760-802-9500. When we left, we were talking about the HARP program and talking specifically about what's been happening with interest rates and how this the kind of run up or tick up in the last 3 weeks has affected buyer activity and that kind of thing in terms of San Diego County. What I also wanted to talk about was, for a very long time, in the last few years, what seems like a very long time, our unemployment rate here in San Diego has been 2 or 3 points above the national average, and it dropped to 9.7% last month. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about specifically and kind of update you on is, we've had a real rebound in terms of our San Diego economy. Now, it's not taking off by any stretch of the imagination, and it's not racing away with itself, but we have in fact dug out of the hole. And so we were in a hole and we've dug out of it. And the thing that I wanted to make sure that I pointed out to everybody was that, we actually, our leading economic indicators that the University of San Diego does, Alan Ginn does, and publishes every month for us, which is a huge tool. And thank you very much, Professor Ginn, for doing that. We watch that, and it's leading economic indicators is an indication of what's going to be happening 6 months down the road with our economy. And we actually dropped in April 2009. We hit our low, and we've actually rebounded from there. And if you were to look at a graph of what's happened, you would see specifically that we've actually come back more than halfway from the dip, from the actual drop, in terms of the bottom, if you will, of the economy. Now, what's been happening in the last couple of years is we've had an effect of listening to the national media that's telling us that no homes are selling and that kind of thing. Which, if you've listened to this program before, if you haven't, this is new for you. Last year, in the absolute highest time, the most units we've ever sold in this country, we sold in 2005, and it's existing home sales, and we sold just over 7.5 million homes. In last year, in a market that was absolutely supposedly terrible, and we were going through this Great Depression and yada, we sold 5.28 million homes nationwide. So we really are not that far off of what our highs were. And that high that we had, we now know was a lot of smoke and mirrors. We now know that it was over liberal, if you will, lending guidelines. And so we know that 5.28 million is actually not that far off from what an actual normal type market is. And so to listen to the national media, you would think that we're actually selling 3 homes a year and that we're struggling to do that. Fact of the matter is, that's not true. And what the national media is doing is it's basically putting its thumb on consumers' confidence. And when the government does what the government did with this bickering back and forth over the debt ceiling and all this unnecessary battling back and forth that they're doing and not getting anything done. In other words, all they're doing is arguing and not making any progress. That does not help consumer confidence. And consumer confidence and employment is what we have to have. We have to have employment in order for people to buy homes, because one thing people have to have in order to pay a mortgage is they have to have a job and they have to have income in order to pay that mortgage and in order to own a home, or in order to feel confident enough to go out and buy a home. Plus, there are millions, literally millions of displaced homeowners right now who want to get back in the market, and they are not able to because they've lost their homes to foreclosure, or they've done a short sale on their home, and they have a passion for buying again, but the actual guidelines don't allow them to. And so what I wanted to make sure that I pointed out to you is there's an opportunity. This economy is starting to come back a little bit. We're starting to see what economists like to call green sprouts. We're not back yet by any stretch of the imagination, and we have not hit bottom, I don't believe, in terms of real estate values. However, we won't know that we've hit bottom with real estate values until 6 months after we've hit them. So if you're a buyer, I would recommend that you get in and that you get in soon, get in right away, take advantage of these historically low interest rates, and also take advantage of this historically high affordability level or historically low prices, and get in now. And I believe, if you go in with a long-term focus and a long-term goal and long-term plan, I don't believe that you'll regret it. Will prices drop after you buy potentially? Yes, it's possible that they could. They might not. And so what I want to make sure that people understand, and I want to make sure that you understand, or people that you know get the message that this is the time to buy. This is absolutely the time to jump in and buy. If you're a seller and you're trying to sell your home currently, you know how tough it is. And what you want to make sure that you do if you're a seller is you want to make sure that you price your home aggressively. That's the single most important thing you can do. The second most important thing you can do is make sure that you've got good curb appeal. Make sure you trim back the bushes, make sure you trim back the front lawn, that kind of thing, so that you can see your home. If you drive up to your home and all you see is green and all you see is shrubbery, that's a problem. People want to see the home. They don't care so much about the plants that you've planted over the years and that type of thing. What you want to do is spiff them up and trim them up and make them look nice. You want people to want to get out of the car, and you want them to want to come into your home. Now, once they come into your home, one of the things you want to do is make sure that you don't have any clutter. Make sure that you stage your home properly, and make sure that you take all of your personal things, personal photos, personal items, personal awards, those types of things, take those and put them away. See if you could, if you don't have room in your garage to store them, see if somebody else has either go rent a storage unit, or see if somebody else that you know that's a friend or a family member has a garage area that you can borrow for a time being while you're staging your home and while you're getting it ready to sell. A good idea if you're a seller, if you're looking for a frame of reference, is go out and look at a new home sales complex. Take a picture of the living room in that new home sales new home model, and then take that picture home and compare it to a picture of your living room. That will give you an idea of what you may want to eliminate, what painting you may want to do, what different things you may want to do to spiff your property up. And it usually doesn't cost that much money to get your home ready to where when people walk in, they remember the home and not your furnishings. You want them to walk in and you want them to think about where their sofa is going to go, where they're going to be bringing their kids home and their kids are going to be playing. You want people to be focused on being able to see themselves moving into your property rather than them remembering what's in your property, or how they couldn't see your property because the shrubbery and that kind of thing and wasn't trimmed or wasn't cut back. So hopefully that helps you if you're a seller. If you're a buyer, I would get in, and I'd get in now. This is a historic time, and it's a wonderful time to buy considering we're at all-time low interest rates and prices are as low as they've been in a long, long time. Well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Mike Litton with Keller Williams Realty. This is the Real Estate Zone every Saturday afternoon at 3 on 760 KFMB.